What's happening, investors? It's a Saturday and the Friday has concluded. Trades have been closed. I'm happy to announce another 85% gain on the latest calendar spread. Those things are just printing money apparently. And posted a post on YouTube community tab. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep those updated as often as I can. It's kind of going to be like a real time, okay, I just did the trade, I'm just going to post it real quick type of thing. So all 4 calendar spreads are closed now. All 4 of them were profitable, which is crazy. Now, I don't know about next week. Like I said, the timing of it's going to be tricky. I'm going to try to put it on Monday, maybe exit on Wednesday night or Thursday. However, let's go into the account real quick so I can show you what's happening. Now, I ended the day pretty flat. Here is the Apple calendar closing. I'm going to go into the history probably. That's where you're going to be seeing it better. Let's go into the history. Robinhood charged me some interest and my $5 for Robinhood Gold. Apple history. Scroll the way down. So here it is. $130 exit point. And the entry point was like $71. So about 1 week of waiting for that, 7 days of waiting for that profit, 85% profit. It's not bad. Now, obviously, the amount was pretty small. So, only like $60 or something was gained. But if you can scale it up, it doesn't require a lot of capital. Like I talked on previous videos, it doesn't require a lot of capital to do a calendar spread at all. It's really simple. It's just 2 entry points. Get those happening and, watch the spread increase between the 2 premiums of the options and then collect before things get really volatile. Now, I also mentioned that next week's going to be fairly crazy. There's a lot of economic data happening. And I found a more detailed economic data calendar that one could use if you want. It's at tradingeconomics.com. Obviously, it's free. It's right here. I've been scrolling through it to figure out what's going on, but it might be too much data, actually. Let me see. I actually have an agenda here. I was supposed to go to the next trade. Okay, so the next trade is... I actually mentioned it already. I'm gonna put it on Monday. Calendar spread for a few days. See if you can collect like 20-30% profit and exit. All right. So this is the new economic calendar that I found, but it's a little too detailed. So look, for right now, for example, on Sunday, tomorrow, there's some data coming out. It gives you the previous, the consensus, and the forecast. I don't understand why the consensus and the forecast is not the same number. Who is making the forecast? Is it the central government? Is it some kind of entity? And then the consensus is like market opinion, aggregated market opinion or something. Like they just interview a bunch of analysts and tell them what they think is going to happen. Anyway, so a bunch of China data coming in, consumer confidence, blah, blah. I like that they do the charts on the right. You can kind of figure out, okay, what's the trend? There's a couple of things I found interesting in here. One is the Singapore and in general Japanese like inflation. Basically, see if I can scroll down and figure it out. So actually I'm interested in what these numbers look like. But it comes out, I think, and also Italian inflation is really high. Look at this. They're still hovering over 10%. It's crazy. So that should be interesting. It's funny because the inflation rates in Europe are like different among all the countries, but they all use the same currency in the European Union. So it's a bit awkward. But I'm trying to find the Singaporean inflation rate. But things are heating up over there. It's not it's not coming down is what I'm saying. So apparently, the dollar must be, oh, there it is. Okay, so this is, I think, the Singaporean flag. Yeah, Singapore. So we got core inflation rate. It's really odd that it's been completely stable, like in the last 3 readings. It's hovering around 5%. But look at this, inflation rate year over year. It's not really coming down that much. Inflation rate month over month is pretty stable. I guess it's stabilizing. But look at the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. So this one's, to me, one of the most important ones. But it's basically continuing to go up, unabated. It's pretty odd, if you ask me. Pretty odd. And then there's some interesting reading here from Turkey. So overnight lending rates been crashing. Same with overnight borrowing rate, but at the same time, their business sentiment. I'm trying to find it here. Let me scroll down or up a little bit. Okay, I actually found the Japanese inflation rate. Look, inflation rate in Japan year over year is increasing actually, which is crazy because we're expecting a huge decrease here in the United States, right? So it's a little bit odd to see that. Inflation rate and then core inflation rate year over year is also doing the same thing. It's increasing. Inflation rate ex food and energy year over year is also increasing. Inflation rate month over month is kind of flat. But in general, that's pretty worrying sign, I think. I guess a lot of the inflation rates worldwide are kind of dependent on the dollar's movement. So, as the dollar travels one way, everything else tends to kind of like freak out. Where was this Turkish reading here? Oh, so we're moving on to Friday now, and Thursday and Friday has a lot of US readings, okay? So Thursday specifically, we got what was the big ones? We got jobless claims, GDP data is the big one. We have GDP data coming in, so that could rattle the markets. So I'm just looking at these from volatility standpoint. Friday's got a ton of stuff happening. PCE, core PCE, etc., personal spending, personal income. Those are big numbers. And a lot of the investors, big housing, trading houses, they tend to trade around that kind of stuff. So, and also they put it into their equations whenever they have to market make. Oh, Turkey balance of trade. Man, that looks bad. So any kind of data from Turkey looks bad, except this one. Look, economic confidence index rising. So I guess people in Turkey are kind of figuring, okay, we've bottomed out. Very interesting. And there was more. Oh, durable goods comes in US on Friday as well. Lots of stuff. Pending home sales. There's some auctions. Retail sales. Look at this retail sales month over month in Australia. Isn't that crazy? What is this drop all about? What is this negative 3.9% all about? Is Australia crashing right now? Private sector credit year over year decreasing. Still positive though. Private sector credit month over month decreasing. Current account negative. I guess Australia is experiencing some kind of weird slowdown. But housing in general has been looking really weak all around the world, apparently. But these numbers are going to give us a better picture, I guess, of how everything's doing. I think this is actually a little too detailed. There's a lot of stuff from little countries like Spain and, Italy that are not that important worldwide. But they still report them. Anyway, you can look through this. It's tradingeconomics.com to figure out what's exactly going to be going on in the economics calendar, so you can put on your trades more appropriately. Like, I'm just looking at it from volatility perspective. Like, obviously I don't have a opinion how the data is going to come out and what impact it's going to have on the markets. I just know that it's going to move a little bit more than normal. And my job, I guess, is to figure out how much of that is priced in. So if I go into the options premiums, we can try to figure that out. Okay, so let's say Apple trade options. I'm going to go to February 24th, which is the next expiration date. I'm going to look at some premiums, and it looks like around the strike price, the premium is a little bit higher than last week. And if I try to put on a calendar spread, so I'm going to sell, let's say sell the put here at 152.5 and buy the put on the next available date, March 3rd. Let's see what happens. So we got a maximum payout of 124, and then the cost is 93 cents or $93 per contract. So 123.93. Let's take a look at the calls. Okay, so how about we clear that, and then we try to do the calls. So we sell a call at 152.5 and then buy a call on March, the same strike price. And what do we get? 112, and the price is 105. So it's still a worse deal. How about we do this a little bit higher? Okay, a little bit, 117, and the price of contracts is 94. Maximum drawdown 95, but around $149 per Apple share. I'm going to be losing a little bit less than $60 if the price ends up there. I mean, I guess it's okay to try to do a call. It's not that far off, but I think the puts are still a better deal at this point. And I don't think that the premium is any different than the previous weeks. It's about the same, honestly. So I don't think that the market makers are factoring the increased volatility towards the end of next week. So it may be a good deal actually to put on the spread now and exit out on Wednesday or Thursday. So that's exactly what I'm going to do this Monday. So if you want to try it out, go ahead. Again, this is not investment advice or whatever recommendation. This is what I'm doing. You're in charge of your own decisions. I'm not liable for any kind of trades that you make and any kind of gains or losses that you might have. So feel free to give it a try. If you know what you're doing and you understand that you're taking on your own risk. But I will report back, and maybe I'll put on 2 contracts just to kind of increase the ante a little bit. So far, 4 calendar spreads in a row have been profitable, and let's see if we can make it a 5 or a 6 in a row. It's going to be interesting to see. All right, I'm going to end the video right here. If you want to look at the week performance of the account, it's up 1%. Let's take a look at the SPY. I'm just out of curiosity. And SPY is down 0.33. All right, well, that's it for today. I'm gonna try to do another trade update on Monday probably, and maybe try to explore another system, another option strategy that we could try. If you have an option strategy that you want to try, that you want me to try or explain, write it down in the comments and I'll do so. All right, that's it for now. Peace out.